Hello everyone! Our mission on the Broken Isles is to get our hands on the Pillars of Creation. Within Stormheim, the Age of Aggramar awaits, but at the same time, we also have to deal with the Horde Alliance conflicts, and that's the story we're going to talk about today, so let's begin, shall we? After the events on the Broken Shore, some members of the Alliance want to put away the hatreds and focus on the war against the Legion, but some of them, they have old hatreds burning deep within their hearts, and they're not willing to forgive or forget. Again, Greymane and Admiral Rogers, they have a history with Sylvanas and the Horde. In the case of Rogers, she lost her hometown of South Shore to the Forsaken and the Plague, and despite her best efforts during Mist of Pandaria...
Admiral, I think they mean to surrender. They're not armed. They're just trying not to drown.
You don't think they'll hesitate to strangle you with their bare hands? Gun them down!
The Horde still lives. Greymane, on the other hand, he's lost the city of Gilneas as well as his son to the Banshee Queen. Naturally, these two are the best members that we have to send on a mission into Stormheim, where they know that the Age of Aggramar can be found, but they're also aware that the Forsaken fleet has set sail from Durotar, and they suspect that Sylvanas may be among them. Now, considering that we have a freedom to choose where we want to level on the Broken Isles, it's hard to say what zone comes first in the timeline, but an interesting bit of information can be found at the end of Azuna. One of the ships that joined Sylvanas on the mission is separated from the rest by a massive storm. They end up within Azuna, and the captain's log talks about the Warchief's plans of stealing the very power of the V for herself, V most likely standing for Valkyr. The log is found by adventurers and brought back to Dalaran. Now, if you play for the Horde, then you're complimented on keeping this delicate information out of the grubby little hands of the Alliance. But if you play for the Alliance, you're informed that this information will be brought to Greymane as soon as possible. This means that it's possible that Greymane was aware of Sylvanas or other plans, since if you go into Stormheim as a Horde player, you're not only informed about the Aegis, she also explains that Stormheim holds another treasure. One that the Banshee Queen will be pursuing by her own means. The Forsaken cannot reproduce, so are they then destined to wither away into nothing?
No. The Forsaken will never stop fighting. Not while I reign. Not when there are still beings out there with the power to stop death.
The Banshee Queen is still focused on avoiding the hell that she ended up in after she threw herself from the top of Icecrown. The Valkyr made a deal with her back then. They would take her place in hell in case she dies, and in exchange, they would be free from Bolvar's control. Now, knowing the torment and damnation that awaits for her, Sylvanas took them up on their offer, and they gained not only the power to stay out of hell, but the Valkyr are also able to resurrect more of the Forsaken. She has lost a few of the Valkyr already over the years, and it seems like she's looking for the power of the Valkyr herself, the ability to create more of them. Joining her on this mission is Nathanos Blightcaller, who in his lifetime was trained by the High Elves and appointed the rank of Ranger Lord, granted to him by Sylvanas herself, who was so impressed by his skills that not even Kilphas, objected to training the human, could persuade her to stop. The Scourge eventually swept over the land. Nathanos was murdered by Ramstein the Gorger, and like Sylvanas, he too was turned into an undead, and he found his way to the Forsaken. Despite the Alliance trying to end his undead torment, Nathanos is quite happy to stay at his Banshee Queen's side, and some speculate that there's actually a romance between the two of them. Only time will tell if that's really true. Nathanos does seem very loyal to Sylvanas, that's for sure, but knowing the history behind these characters and knowing why they're going into Stormheim, we've inspected the ships, we've inspected the troops, so let's begin our journey.
3 days ago, the Forsaken fleet set sail from Durotar, heading straight for the Broken Isles. We think Sylvanas Windrunner herself may be among them. We are to track them from a safe distance. We may engage, but only if the situation demands. I strongly suspect the situation will demand it.
It had better. I am not in the habit of tracking prey unless I intend on killing it.
The Skyfire has located the Horde fleet and they take their shot. The Alliance target is the Banshee Queen herself, so they fly down and they search the ships, eventually ending up on a flagship where the captain is interrogated.
Wait! She may have information!
You're too late. The Dark Lady is already gone.
The Banshee Queen is long gone, as the Horde players, they join Nathanos in a counterattack.
The mixture in these vials is extremely volatile. Once you pop the cork, there's no containing it. Meet me on deck when the vials are in place. There is someone here I want to kill personally.
So many bats. They're trying to bring the ship down from the inside!
Hero! Get those chemical flares away from the ammo!
It's no use! The
Slay
ammunition
them
has
all
caught fire!
for the
Quickly,
Dark
up the
Lady!
stairs!
Monsters! You have no place in this world!
You call us monsters? How rich!
Nathanos and Greymane go at each other, but the skyfire blows up and crashes out of the sky. The Alliance and Horde are separated again and have to put their battle on hold while they deal with the damage done from their fight in the sky. On the Horde side, we can see that Sylvanas is once again quite happy to use her plague, and it made quite a mess, so we get to clean it up. Next to that, Nathanos is desperately searching for his beloved Banshee Queen. She has to be out there somewhere, and we're going to find her. Eventually, we meet up with the Dread Captain Tattersail, who was the last person to see the war chief.
We got the queen into a rowboat, but she didn't want an escort. Told us to stay behind and fight. My guess? She landed somewhere up the coast and continued on foot.
No sign of Sylvanas in the hills. What have we here? That's one of hers, all right.
The Banshee Queen made her escape, and it would seem like she doesn't want to be followed, not by us or anyone else, and ours is not to question, only to obey, at least according to Nathanos. We kill Thane Wildsky, a Griffin Master preparing to take flight, no doubt to pursue our queen from the sky, and we take out a few of the SI-7 members that has been spying on our troops. One of them has even been able to seduce a local Raven Bear, so we take them out, and after that we focus our efforts on finding the Aegis. Now on the Alliance side, we see that Greymane is knocked out cold, but most of our troops, they're up and running, and we need to send out a distress signal to the Alliance Navy. We collect some medical supplies, we take out some of the Forsaken troops, we charge our battery with the lightning attacks from the Storm Drakes, and we send out a signal using the propeller from the Skyfire. This does attract some unwanted attention in the form of more Forsaken soldiers, but they too fall to our might, and we even scare off Vatir, a storm dragon that we later befriend during our mission of finding the Aegis. With the signal sent out, the Alliance quickly evacuates the Grey Watch, and after that, we focus our efforts on finding the Aegis. Now during the questline, we go through several trials, and for one of them, we seek the judgment of Ashildir, Queen of the Valkyra. The problem, however, is that Runeseer Faljar, he's calling upon dark, forbidden magics in an attempt to banish our spirits to Helheim, and if he succeeds, our trial will be lost. We must do everything in our power to stop this from happening, but unfortunately, we fail.
No! This power! It's too strong!
I would see you banished before I allow you to grant judgment to an outsider.
No! You can't!
I can. You have sealed your fate, shieldmaiden. You and this outsider. Enjoy your eternity of damnation. Helheim awaits!
Helheim is a domain ruled by Helia, and it's a form of afterlife for the Vrykul, where the greatest and mightiest of Vrykul, they earn their place within the Halls of Valor, the unworthy are pulled down into Helheim and they're turned into Kavaldir. Being here, amongst the spirits of the dishonorable, is not a great place to be, so we set out to meet up with Helia in an attempt to convince her to let us go back to the living world, but here it is, where we find the Banshee Queen again.
Remember our bargain, Banshee. Do not dare cross me.
Ah, my loyal hero. You must not languish here. The Aegis cannot fall into enemy hands. The future of the Horde depends on you and me. Find your way back to Stormheim. I will be waiting. What have we here? Another one of Greymane's mercenaries? No matter. Soon you will witness the birth of a new age. If you ever make it out of here, that is.
Sylvanas has found her own path into Helheim. It's unexplained how she did this, but you could imagine that, considering she's a Banshee and she has several of the Valkyrie at her side, It's possible she used that to gain entry. The details of the bargain made with Helia are also kept in the dark. We can see that she obtained a lantern, similar to the one that we later used to free our own severed spirit. But what did Helia want to return? Did her goals simply align with that of the Banshee Queen, or did Sylvanas promise something that she is yet to pay? That's unknown for the moment. All we know is that some sort of bargain was made, and Sylvanas goes out to use her lantern, while we're stuck in Helheim with having to find our own way out. Helia makes us a deal as well. To entertain her, she challenges us to fight with her pets, and if we win, we get to go.
Have fun with my pet, outsider! I will enjoy watching him break you! Your spirit feels weaker. What has she done?
A shieldier notices that our spirit feels weaker and tells us to collect a Helheim Waylight, said to have the power of releasing the bonds of the spirits, which we do, and we use it to not only collect the fragments of our spirits, we also liberate several of Ishildier's Valkyra. Together, we fight with Geir, and we bring Helia's mighty champion down, earning us our freedom, and we escape from Helheim as well as gaining Ishildier's trust, something that will definitely come of use later.
It is done, Helia! We have fulfilled your bargain, and we will collect our payment. Such insolence! None will leave Helheim while I rule! What? This cannot be! Her hold is weakening. She cannot keep us here. No one leaves Helheim! No one! Your terms were met, Helia. It seems even you must honor your word. No!
Back on the surface, members of the Alliance are called over to Grey Watch to meet up with Greymane. Forsaken troops in the area, they're cooking up Blight, so we're sent to destroy it before they overtake us, while also dealing with an apothecary, providing them with the plague, and searching for scouting orders which may help pinpoint Sylvanas' objective in the area. We do just that, and we find out that Sylvanas is after something in Skuld Ashiel, a Vrykul town not far from Greywatch, but we still don't know what exactly she's after. Perhaps the answer can be found within the village, so we fly out, while Greymane will muster the fleet to assault the Forsaken outpost. This is what the Horde player encounters, as they're summoned by Naphanos as Greymane attacks. Heroes are asked to fire some of the Forsaken catapults, kill a few of the Worgen troops, and blow up the ship that Greymane is shouting from.
I'll reduce this camp to rubble if I have to! Sylvanas! Come and face your executioner!
Naphanos believes that there's no way Greymane could have survived the destruction, so with the outpost secured, the Horde travels to Skuld Ashiel to carry out Sylvanas' mission, and there they encounter the Banshee Queen herself, who's not pleased that her troops have not only been unable to secure the vault, they've not even been able to secure the town. A change of tactics is in order. Our goal lies within the vault. Sylvanas doesn't have time to explain the details, just know that it is vital to the Forsaken that we succeed. We're sent to figure out how the chosen few of the Shieldmaiden's order, those that allowed access into the vault, how they're selected, and this tale is engraved upon the Vrykul shields. These shields show the story as how the goddess of the Shieldmaidens, named Eir, is watching over them in battle. Various trials are undergone by the warriors of Skuld Ashiel with an image of a Shieldmaiden kneeling before an elaborate spear. The priestesses of the temple, they stand nearby, silently observing the rite. Now the next scene shows us one of the Shieldmaidens glowing with a radiant aura, held aloft by golden wings while hovering above a statue of an ancient champion of Skuld Ashiel. Eir stands at the entrance of the Titan Vault, and she appears to be welcoming a winged champion of the Shieldmaidens. The final shield shows us the image of a Shieldmaiden lifting the body of a fallen Vrykul from the battlefield, and this image appears eerily similar to that of a Valkyr. From this, we can say that the Shieldmaidens undergo some trials to prove themselves worthy of entrance into the vault, where they're then judged by Eir, and if found worthy, they're turned into Valkyr. This means that Eir has the power to create more Valkyr, and considering that it's the Valkyr that keeps Sylvanas out of hell, as well as granted her ability to create more troops, this is something that would secure the future of not only the Sylvanas, but also the Forsaken in general, and something that from the Alliance point of view can absolutely not happen. Both factions are told to become the next descendant, and for this we have to collect Eir's helm, pauldron, spear and shield, we communicate with the statue of an ancient champion, and we bring down the barrier. As luck would have it, this ancient champion is actually a shieldier, the same as shieldier that we partied with in Helheim, and she was the one who once upon a time brought the Shieldmaidens to Skuld Ashiel.
What is this? The hero of Helheim seeks entrance to the vault? I know your worth. I will grant you an audience with Aegir. You may proceed, but know that Aegir may not regard you as I do. Seek your fate in the vault, champion. May Aegir be your wings.
The path is open for Sylvanas to claim her prize, while Greymane quickly goes after her in an attempt to stop her.
Storm the vault for Gilneas!
Treacherous Banshee! You know not what you are meddling with!
Submit. The Valkyr are mine.
Sylvanas, your quest for immortality has left you vulnerable. I will have my vengeance! For Varian! For Gilneas! For my son!
It seems I overestimated you. Old wolf.
You took my son's future. And now I've taken yours.
Greymane got his revenge for what went down on the Broken Shore and what she did to his city, and most of all, what she did to his son. He will need time to heal from the poison, while Sylvanas regrets that they underestimated Greymane's tenacity, but Aegir cannot hide for long. She will hunt her through the very halls of valor if she must, so it seems like the Banshee Queen, she's not done yet with trying to collect Aegir's power. That's where the story arc between Greymane and Windrunner end for the moment, and I asked on Twitter what people felt about all of this, and the opinions were very diverse. Some loved standing at the Queen's side, while others hated it that they were forced to help Sylvanas. I especially liked the feedback from Horde warriors that had their Horde halls in the Halls of Valor itself, while at the same time they did assist Sylvanas with plans like this. I also read feedback stating that the story felt irrelevant to the questing experience and had no resolution at all, and I think that there's definitely something to be said about this. The storyline doesn't seem quite over yet. The Horde Alliance conflict is something constantly going on, despite pretty much every expansion having the Horde Alliance work together against the greater threats while also kicking the crap out of each other. I personally feel like this story arc is a lot better than the reasoning that they gave during Warlords of Draenor, since at least this one has some connection to all the lore, right? There's a lot of history between Sylvanas and Greymane. I do wonder what the future is going to bring, since the story definitely doesn't feel finished, and we know that Helia and all of that, it has its part to play. Sylvanas made a deal with Helia, but for what exactly? And now that she failed to make Aegir submit, what does that mean for the future? Will she keep on trying, or will something prevent her from doing so? I personally can't wait to find out, but let me know what you think. How do you feel about the events with Sylvanas and Greymane in Stormheim? Leave your opinions in the comments down below, I can't wait to check it out. And for now, we've reached the end of the video. Thank you very much for watching, everyone. Subscribe if you like my videos, leave a like if you enjoyed this one, and until next time guys, see ya!